Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 3 of the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth Draft Boosters box. We're going to go ahead and open up pack number 3, see what we can find. I've been very impressed so far with the first two, getting some very powerful cards. We're going to see how long our luck lasts. Let's see if I can get every card out. There we go. I think I found a better pull method this time. Ooh, very first thing we get, Gimli's Fury. Instant card, 2 mana to cast. Target creature gets, let's bring this closer. Target creature gets +3/+2 until end of turn. If it's a legendary creature, it also gains trample until end of turn. Great instant card to draw, very powerful. I would definitely add this to a fire deck. You know, if you're fighting a creature stronger than you, a +3/+2, most likely you'll take out the creature you're attacking and survive to go on to fight another day. Gimli's Fury, very good card. Revive the Shire. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Create a food token. Once again, if you're playing that food token style of gameplay, good one. Plus, you're bringing a card back from the grave. Not bad. Relentless Rohirrim. When Relentless Rohirrim enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. 4 mana cost for a 4/3. Decent card for a ring tempting deck. Haunt of the Dead Marshes. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Once again, this Lord of the Rings artwork. It's just fantastic. Creature Nightmare Elf. When Haunt of the Dead Marshes enters the battlefield, scry 1. For a 3 mana tap, with one being a swamp, return Haunt of the Dead Marshes from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Active only if you control a legendary creature. So you'd have to have a legendary. It's a 1 swamp mana cost with a 1/1 attack. Little spendy to bring it back. But if somebody keeps trying to, mill your deck, not a bad card to have. Something you can always bring back from the dead. Not the most powerful of cards, but it puts something on the field. Isolation at Orthain. Instant card, water. Put target creature into its owner's library, second from the top. Well, if you're trying to get rid of somebody's very powerful legendary creature and make sure it's a little while before it gets back into the field, it's pretty good. Usually water will put it back in somebody's hand, but to put it back in their library, you're going to delay that legendary creature getting back into the field. Let me see if my thing will focus. Let's see, get back to it. There we go. Get rid of that one. We got Stalwarts of Osgiliath. Creatures, human soldiers, White Plains. When Stalwarts of Osgiliath enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter. So yeah, if you have, built-in multiple draws per turn, you could start to run the power up on this pretty quick. It's a 5 mana cost, 4/3 power, but can very quickly become 5/4, 6/5, and on from there. Look at that artwork. Just beautiful. Pretty powerful card. Generous Ent. Creature tree folk. 6 mana cost. Reach. There you go. You trying to fight somebody who's got a bunch of flying creatures. Well, you got a 5/7 here. 5's pretty darn powerful, and 7 very hard to take down. When Generous Ent enters the battlefield, create a food token. This is a powerful food token one. And if you have some creatures that you can tap for mana on top of that, you can get this into the field pretty quick. Not only as a good defense, but an amazing offense. Generous Ent, really good card for a forest deck. Great Hall of the Citadel. Land. You can tap it for just a gray mana, or if you play another mana with it, add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast legendary spells. Not the greatest, but if you're doing a, spellcasting deck, I guess it's a pretty good addition. We'll throw that, we'll start a new pile. Merry Parting, sorcery. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle, create a food token. Once again, a food token play, and it's getting basic manas into your hand at least. Those forest plays, a lot of expensive forest cards out there. Good one to add to it. Inherited Envelope, 3 mana to cast. When Inherited Envelope enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Add 1 mana of any color on a tap. Pretty good card. If you're doing a ring tempting deck, I would definitely be adding this one, and especially if you're doing multicolors. Fairly decent. Let's put that over there. Fiery Inscription. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Enchantment. 3 mana to cast. When Fiery Inscription enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Fiery Inscription deals 2 damage to each opponent. If you're building an instant, sorcery deck where you're just hitting somebody with spell after spell after spell, this is how you take them down. You chip away. You put 4 of these in a deck. Hopefully you can put down at least 2, maybe even 3, and then hit them with the other instant spells. Very powerful. Really good card to draw. Bitter Downfall, instant. Looks like a swamp, 4 mana. This spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a creature that was dealt damage this turn. Wow, so you can, as long as you dealt a creature damage, somebody throws out a 12/12 dinosaur, you attack with the a 1/1, it blocks it, and then you kept 1 swamp ready to still cast that you hadn't utilized. You can send this out. Spell cost 3. Yeah. Destroy target creature. Its controller loses 2 life. That's a pretty powerful card. I'm actually really impressed with this one. Bitter Downfall. Good one to add to a swamp deck. Gimli. Counter of Kills. We pulled Gimli. Legendary creature. Dwarf Warrior. Looks like he's on the fire side. Interesting. Trample. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, Gimli's Counter of Kills deals 1 damage to that creature's controller. All right. Not bad. 4/3, 4 mana. You throw maybe like a shield onto Gimli, and suddenly, most shields are a +2, and now you're a 4/5. And, you could take out decent amount of creatures with a 4/5, and then just keep dealing 1 damage to the player every time. Just chip away. Very powerful, very good card. Tom Bombadil. People are all about this card. I've seen it used. It can be very powerful. You got to be really skilled in multicolored decks, because you got to be an expert at it with this thing. You got to cast a plane, water, swamp, fire, and forest. Legendary creature, God, Bard. All right, let's see. It says, as long as there are 4 or more lore counters among sages you control, Tom Bombadil has hexproof and indestructible. Whenever the final chapter ability of a saga you control resolves, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a saga card. Put that card into the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This ability triggers only once each turn. Not my style, but I know a lot of people who would really want this card and would consider this a premier draw. When I was researching what to get, draft boosters said cards like this are going to be more rare, but we got it. Another legendary creature added to the list on deck number 3. I'm super happy with this purchase thus far. Add him down there. Then we got a blue island mana, and we have a spirit token creature. I don't think I've, at least not to my knowledge, I don't have anything that creates a spirit token as of yet, but, you know, that might change. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me slap these down. Please tune in tomorrow. I'll have another deck opening for you. And also, please comment, like, and subscribe. Have a good one.